Hello YouTube, welcome back for another companion quest, this time for Yukong's companion mission. Mission, quest, whatever. We just finished the Kafka one, and now we're going to do the Yukong one. I am really looking forward to this. I really like Yukong. I have not built her as much as I would have wanted to. She's at 70 out of 80. Her traces are kind of leveled. But unfortunately, I do not have her at E6, so she's a little difficult to use at times. So I'm focusing on my other Harmony characters first before I focus on her. Hopefully I will get her E6 on the 5-star Dawn Hung banner, because she's going to be on that banner. So I would definitely hopefully be pulling on that banner to at least get her at E6. She's at E3 right now, so I just need 3 copies. Yeah. But with that said, we're here to do her companion quest. I've heard great things about this. I've heard it's kind of sad. So let's find out how sad it actually is.
Looks like there's smoke rising in the distance. Miss Chikwe sent us a side crane. See if you can get an aerial visual. This is an emergency. We need to find where the star skiff crashed as soon as possible.
And before I started recording, I was trying to find the message because I had actually accidentally already read it, but I couldn't find it because I couldn't figure out who had sent it. But now I know. So yeah, but we get a message talking about there's a crash and all this other stuff. So connect to the side crane. Identifying target.
We found it. Looks like the pilot isn't inside. If they escaped before it came down, they should still be nearby.
I don't see anybody. Oh, there they are.
There. That must be who Miss Chikwe asked us to save. We need to hurry. Those abominations have trapped her. Be careful.
Also, you know the other great part about this quest? Welt's here. And no March 7th. Oh my god, this quest is already just infinitely better. Crazy.
Hey, get out of here! It's too dangerous! Go get someone from the Skyfaring Commission. Tell them Ching Ni is in trouble.
Ching Ni.
Don't worry, Miss Ching Ni. We've been in worse danger.
I kind of want to bring Welt into the party now, too. I think I might do that.
There are too many monsters. Let's hold out for a little longer. The Cloud Knights should be here soon.
There's a lot of monsters.
Just run! These monsters can't get up here anytime soon.
Ching Ni.
No can do, Miss Ching Ni. We're not abandoning you.
You two have held out long enough. Help is at hand.
Yukong. Uh-oh. There was a look. There was a look. There was a look. There was a look and a shame. Interesting. After cleansing the area of the abominations, the Cloud Knights rescued the trapped girl. Okay.
I didn't know the Helm Master of the Skyfaring Commission dealt with situations like this in person.
Kinda sus.
Indeed. We should be reviewing files in the Palace of Astrum. However, Ching Ni decided to put herself in danger and trouble
Actual
our
MILF.
guests with her safety. As her mother, I couldn't sit idly by.
I do love her English VA. Very good.
Ching Ni, have you thanked your benefactors yet?
Triggered. Someone said the word benefactor. Ah, Tigya and Fantilia, no. Spoilers. Oh.
Thank you, benefactor.
No, stop saying that word. Stop it. I don't believe you. Who are you? They're both destruction.
No need, Miss Ching Ni. It was nothing.
You flatter
I do.
me. This is a Skyfaring Commission affair, yet the two of you had to put yourselves in harm's way. I am ashamed.
That moment when this is this is gonna be terrible, but that moment when your mother is clearly hotter than you, like you did not get her genes, like the character design from 1 to 1, like like unfortunate.
Was because
You know what's funny? I'm not sure if I'm more down bad for Kafka or more down bad for Yukong, because I really like Yukong.
My gratitude.
It's because of you the most you can escape, and skate words cannot express my gratitude. Of course.
In fact, by way of thanks, I'd like to invite you to the Palace of Astrum for tea. It is about time we knew each other better.
Awesome. You know what? You know what this is? Actually, what this really is, it's me with my dad, Welt, and her with her mom, Yukong. Welt and Yukong. There you go. Done.
The feeling is mutual, Lady Yukong.
Okay, I see what's
We would
going
be
on
honored.
here. Welt's here to get him some Foxian ladies. Okay.
Then, for now, I will excuse myself. Qingni's irresponsible actions caused much trouble for the two of you. Allow me to apologize once again on her behalf.
It's so funny because back in her like youth, apparently she was like a terror. Like she was like terrible. She would do all kinds of reckless shit. So it's kind of funny.
You always do this, Mother. Scold me before figuring out what actually
Yes,
happened.
that's what parents do. You know what? Do you think Welt, an anime fan that loves giant robots, would like Fox Girls? You know what? Now that you point that out, you're right. He absolutely would. Welt is just an old gamer, an old nerd, an old like anime enthusiast, an old otaku. So he just, yes, his live-long dream, Fox Girls. Yep. That's absolutely what it is. But you know what this statement makes me think of, specifically since you are here, Coop, is the story about your dad grounding you for having your car parked and someone hitting it in a place where it was supposed to be parked.
It was a dire situation.
like-
I was the only one who could.
You don't even ask me, like, you don't even ask me what happened for reals. Dire situations, I was the only one that could.
You promised me, Qingni. We shall discuss this when we return. Please excuse us,
Triggered.
benefactors. I look forward to our meeting.
I'm gonna have to put a trigger warning at the beginning of this video. Trigger warning. Spoilers for 1.2. Words like benefactor are going to be said several times. Beware.
I didn't know Yukong had that side to her. You have a unique way of putting
But
things.
you know it's true. Well, don't hide. You're an anime fan. You know.
But you're not wrong. Appearances seemingly tell us little about the lives of the Xianzhou's leaders, no matter how long those lives may have been.
True.
Yukong's inner worries and concerns came to the surface in the presence of her daughter. Only then was it clear that she, too, is somebody's mother.
I feel like you relate to this a lot, Mr. Yang. You got kids?
Yes. After all, I know what it's like to worry over a kid's homework. and
Wait, well,
whether their
actually
lunch is
a
healthy
DILF?
enough.
Actually a dad? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
But there's something I don't
I
understand.
didn't know that.
Yes, Qingni piloted a star skiff without permission and put herself in danger, but she meant well. Nevertheless, Yukong's reaction suggests that there was something more. Anyway, let's head over to the Palace of Astrum. Best not to keep Yukong waiting.
To the palace. We don't have to get there early, right? I hate both these answers.
No, but we've been invited. We certainly don't want to be late.
What annoys me, I think, about the main character and answers like that, especially with Welt, is like around Welt we just turn into a kid, and if March is not here, we
Let's
just turn
head
into
out
March.
before it gets late.
That's like some March shit.
Why won't you listen to me?
Because it's my life.
No? Okay.
You know I have the talent to make it. I can become the Lafu's best pilot, just like you were.
I mean, she does have a slightly better design than some of the other characters, but it's not, you know, it's not Yukong.
Talent? You'd be dead if it
Also, I
weren't
think
for
she's
those two
adopted also, if I
travelers.
remember correctly.
Do you think stealing a star skip and taking to the skies is a show of talent? What about being trapped by abominations? Did you at any moment think about what I would feel if something happened to you? Do you know how many people dream of a relaxing desk job at the Skyfaring Commission? You promised me to work responsibly in your post. Not only have you broken the Skyfaring Commission's regulations, you've broken your promise to me.
Damn.
I already told you. I had no choice. I want to help you and the Skyfaring Commission, not sit at my desk dealing with never-ending papers. That job doesn't suit me. I got the highest grade in the fighter pilot test. They all said I was a genius, like you. Like mother, like daughter. They were all jealous of me. But no one even knew I had to take the test behind your back. You would never have allowed me to go if I told you about it.
Damn.
Behind my back? Do you really think you could have walked into the test and sat in the cockpit if I hadn't given my permission behind the scenes?
Oof. Oof.
As for genius, don't mention that word to me again. Why do you insist on becoming a pilot? Don't understand.
And I don't understand why you don't understand.
Ah, typical parent-child argument. I don't understand you. I don't understand you.
Why can anyone in the world become a fighter pilot except the Helmmaster's daughter? Don't you realize how ridiculous that is? You may not want to
It is a
fly
mood.
anymore, but don't trap me down here with
Oof. Oof. That's... Ouch. That hurts. That I know tangentially that like so Yukong was in like a big accident and like I think like she's adopted if I remember correctly. I think like her like mother, her actual mother or whatever was like killed in that accident or something. There's like something going on there I think from reading stuff on Yukong and like her bio and stuff. I don't remember exactly. But I know that she didn't want to fly anymore for some reason. So it just that is a line. You may not want to fly anymore, but don't trap me down here with you. I'm gonna screen cap that. So I have the dialogue saved. It's great. Oh, Twitch advert also acting like a parent cut off the conversation when she tried asking. Unfortunate. But you know what would avoid that? Subscribing to my Twitch channel, either with Prime or something like that. You know, just drop the plug in there since you talked about adverts. There you go.
Qingni, where are you going?
I feel like I could insert a Fast and Furious joke here. It's all about the family.
I'm sorry you had to witness this.
Apologies, Madam Yukong. We should have given you some time.
Mr. Yang, I told you we'd be early. God damn it.
On the contrary, I apologize for allowing my own personal matters to encroach on your time.
It's fine, Yukong. I understand. Kids be kids. Kids,
we don't
right?
intend to pry into private business, Helmmaster Yukong. But if there's anything we can help with, please don't hesitate to ask.
Family issues, I'm afraid. You probably heard a thing or two just now.
Yes. The whole
Despite my
room
earnest
heard
wish
that
she
conversation.
continue in her post, Qingni is fixated on becoming a fighter pilot. I may seem overbearing, but the situation she gets herself into sent a shiver up my tail. It's funny, isn't it? I've seen every disaster imaginable, from the abundance axis to a living planet. I thought I'd forgotten what fear was. But when I fought alongside you, I realized there are still things that can terrify me. I'm sorry. Talking about such vexing matters is unbecoming in front of guests. I invited you here to gain a better understanding of the Express. Not bore you with these trivialities.
It's not boring. I'm actually like I've been genuinely interested in Yukong's like personality and character since like the moment we met her. It was very interesting. And her design, obviously. Vanta Black with the raid. Oh, snap. Thank you very much, Vanta. I appreciate that. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Raiders. Hello, hello. We are currently playing Honkai Star Rail, and we are currently going through the Yukong companion quest. In fact, I should probably say my thing. I should probably update that. Listen, Yukong command mission. We're not showcasing Kafka anymore right now. All right, but yeah, I've been super interested in her since like the beginning. Appreciate the raid. Thank you very much, Fanta. How are you doing today? How was your stream? Hope you had a good one. I'm doing pretty good. The Kafka quest was really good, and this one's going pretty well so far.
Oh, I prepared refreshments for you. Please, you must try this excellent whale tide spring.
Though things didn't go off to a great start, everyone enjoyed this meeting with Yukong. Absolutely. Doing well, stream with Scuff while trying to do an account review. Look, see?
Thanks
Okay.
for saving my daughter. I'd heard that the Nameless had traversed the Starry Sea, but I wasn't prepared for how much I could learn from you.
Well, I'd heard from members of the Skyfaring Commission that you were a top-tier pilot, Madam Yukong, and an ace among the Cloud
Besides
Knights.
everything was fine? Awesome.
Now that I've seen you in action, I know the rumors were true. I hope to witness your flying ability for myself one day. We'll head off now. The Commission must be busy. I look forward to our next meeting, Madam Yukong.
Well, trying to get in there.
On my flying ability, I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you, Mr. Yang. The sky no longer suits me. Looks like you still wish to talk.
Of course.
Seems our every meeting is accompanied by an incident of some sort. I hope I can meet the Astral Express crew under better circumstances next time.
Absolutely. Welcome. Keep going. Keep going.
You two, please, wait.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for saving me,
Yeah,
benefactors.
stop saying that word.
And I'm sorry you
Stop
had to
saying that
witness
word.
all.
You shouldn't have talked like that to your mother.
So you've experienced it yourself, benefactor. That's great. I mean, I'm happy I finally found someone who can understand.
Yeah, no, I
me.
used to argue with my mom all the time about the most ridiculous things that, frankly, in the end, didn't really matter.
But I've had the hairpin ceremony.
Hairpin ceremony.
I'm an adult now. I have the right to pursue my dreams. Mom still insists on sheltering me under her wing, as if I can't even stay alive without her.
Miss Qingni, these are family matters. I'm not sure it's my place to comment. However, in my personal experience, becoming a parent often means we become obstinate.
True.
To erode a rock, one must be patient and persistent.
True.
Like
This is so
water.
true. Okay.
What I mean to say is, instead of trying to prove yourself suddenly, perhaps you could demonstrate your ability to look after yourself methodically over time. Don't you think, Miss Qingni?
I don't think I have any qualifications to apply here. When it comes to family stuff, I leave it to Mr. Yang. Yeah.
My mom is actually a reasonable person, but she gets unreasonable as soon as I mention flying.
Why? Well, there's an underlying thing there.
She hid my Starskiff toys, dragged me away from the port when I stayed behind to count ships, forced me to study for ages. I did everything I could to work my way into the Skyfaring Commission. But she used her authority to assign me a desk
Rough.
job. Every time I walk along Starwatcher Avenue and look up at those ships flying freely across the sky, I feel empty inside. Speaking of empty inside, so how were Mom's refreshments? Good?
Yes, the aroma's incredible. Help yourself. I'm sure there's some leftovers. Yes, the aroma's incredible.
I've been so angry today I forgot to eat anything. How about this? My mom thanked you guys with refreshments, so I should do the same. Let me take you around Starskiff Haven. We can try the most authentic snack on the LaFu.
I'm looking forward to this. I like food. You're now speaking my language. Oh, a vending machine. Okay, sure. Yeah, most iconic
We're
snack.
here. The thing about the most authentic snack on the Cienjo LaFu is it's a drink, and it's inside this vending machine.
Wow, the full 5-star treatment. Tea again? I got enough in the place.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't have the money for anything fancy.
No, it's fine. It really is fine, but that's hilarious.
Here, Mung Bean Soda. 1 can each.
Thanks.
This thing has a bit of a unique flavor, but I love it.
Let me try. A nostalgic experience.
Oh, is there a drink like this where
Well,
you're
if he's
from?
from Japan, like actual Japan, then that would make sense.
No, this reminds me of when
Oh,
I first
never mind.
boarded the Express and forced myself to drink Himiko's coffee, and how my taste buds never fully recovered.
She drank, from my understanding, she drinks some coffee, some very interesting blends.
How is it? Bearable?
Delicious, simply delicious. Rich, anyone have a bucket? Are you sure you're not angry at us for rescuing you? I usually hate these answers, but I like this one too much.
That bad? Sorry.
Be nice. No. That's too funny.
But I guess not everyone can accept what I like. Just like flying. Well, don't force yourself. Let's go somewhere else. Ooh, I know a really great place in Starskiff Haven to Starskiff watch.
Sure. See, the problem is, I would have said that really sarcastically, that the person would know that I would. That sounds like some shit that I would say. I could be drinking and be like, oh, this is really good, but then also be like, are you sure you're not, trying to kill us or something? Sounds like a line that I myself would say. It's great. Now you made her feel bad? Nah, it's fine. It's fine. That's the other problem I have with these lines is you don't know how they're being said
there are a
until
lot
you get the
of
response, and then it's like, oh,
soda
okay.
moments in
It sounded like
life.
I said that kind of
If you don't
seriously
try,
instead of
you won't
jokingly.
know.
So whatever.
Unique experiences are often a product of risky choices.
Unique experiences are often a product of risky choices.
Tell that to my mom. Her #1 life lesson is you can't turn back
Because
once
more
you enter the
espresso, less
sky.
depresso. True.
Pilots
It's fine. She was
are
born feeling bad. It sounds
always
like, yeah.
dancing with death.
Can't turn back once you enter the sky. Pilots are always dancing with death. Huh.
I know she's right. I know being a fighter pilot is an exhausting and dangerous job. But I still want to fly among the stars. To fight for the Cienjo Alliance across the vast galaxy.
Why are you so dedicated to that idea, Miss Jingni?
Have you heard of the Foxian birth fate tradition? Soon after a child is born, we surround them with items that represent future destinies. If the child reaches for a jade abacus, then they'll grow up to be a diviner. If they reach for a sword, then they'll grow up to be a famous warrior.
This is cool.
And if they reach for a toy star skiff,
That's cool.
no, not me. My genius mom did. Mom reached for the star skiff and showed a natural talent for flying. General Jing Yuan recruited her to the Cloud Knights as soon as she was old enough. That's how she became a fighter pilot. Later, she achieved miracles. One time, she destroyed 3 beast ships in a hail of Barissan anti-aircraft fire. Like an arrow tearing through a thunderstorm. She also holds the Skyfaring Commission records for speed and enemy vessels destroyed.
Sounds pretty awesome. I now suddenly want a like a sky skiff like fighter mode, like a mode where you fly spaceships in flight basically.
I'm proud to be Madame Yukong's daughter. I wanted to become a legend like her for as long as I can remember.
I can imagine. A parent is often a child's first hero, and their image can influence their whole life.
She never told me any of those stories herself. And she hasn't piloted a star skiff since the third Denizens of Abundance War. She doesn't even bring up her military achievements.
Interesting. So she heard all this from other people, like, "Oh, you're Madame Yukong's daughter. Wow, she did this and that and blah blah blah, and she was so great and blah blah blah. You know, what are you gonna do?" And then she's like, "Yeah, I want to be a fighter pilot. And she's good at it and all this other things." Because these kinds of stories can go one of two ways: living in the shadow of a great parent, and you're like, "I never want to be a starship pilot. I'll never live up to this." She is in the opposite of that story, where she's like, "Yeah, I want to be as great as my parent was. I know I have the potential to, but they holding me back for some reason or other that we haven't confirmed yet." So interesting.
I used to watch her fly when I was young. Then one time, I stole a star skiff and I tried all kinds of difficult maneuvers. Turns out I was as talented as she was. Not only did I survive the flight, my landing was perfect.
Good job.
I remember feeling so happy when they took me to see my mom. There I was boasting about the flight, expecting her to laugh, pat my head, say, "That's my girl," or something. But boy, I've never seen her so scary.
Oh, damn.
I admit, I deserve to be punished. You can't let a kid get away with
True.
stealing a star
True.
skiff. But my mom was angry about more than that. She was angry because I viewed her as a role model. Because I had the same talent as her. I don't understand it.
Parents never want their children to be in danger. I think I can understand, Madame Yukong.
I'm super curious about Welt's family. He's got kids? Bro.
But flying is the only thing I want to do. I've already touched the sky.
True. She receives a message in frown unless she reads it. Oh.
It's Mom's secretary, Miss Sequay. She just sent me a message. Mom lost one of her trinkets in Stargazer Navalia when she came to save me. Miss Sequay suggested I find the trinket and return it to Mom. Said it might help me get back in her good books.
In Stargazer Navalia? Let's go with you and have a look.
Is it really okay to bother you two again?
Yeah, we're the main characters. We do these things all the time. It's cool. The goal of the Express is to help other people. Our way of saying thanks for the mung bean soda. It's terrible. Nah. I can't. Oh, God. Look, I know this may not come across the way it's supposed to, but for me, I'd be saying this shit so sarcastically in some context. And like I said, sometimes these answers annoy me, but you know what? Let's go with that.
Sorry. Please don't mention the mung bean soda again. The fight with the abominations was pretty chaotic. I think Mom's trinket would have dropped around here.
Do you know what it looks like, Miss Chingni?
Let me think. It should be a little square thing. She's usually got something like that on her.
This is your area of expertise.
Thanks. Who do you think I am? D-Ting? No.
You're a great fighter, but your perception is even more impressive. No matter how well a treasure chest is hidden, you're always able to spot it.
Thanks, Welt.
So, when it comes to finding a needle in a haystack, is there really anyone more capable than yourself?
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you very much.
Looks good.
Control this eye grain. That's not it, but I'm gonna identify it.
Come on, are you kidding? It's a trinket, remember? You think my mom would carry this with her?
It's a beautiful vase, though. What an intricate pattern. Isn't that the divine beast fortune pattern?
You're so smart, Mr. Yang.
All right.
Well, I only recently found out about it. A Devastator glaive? Is this from the battle? There were a lot of Cloud Knights.
No. This is only a replica. Probably some kind of film prop.
Film emergia? Why didn't you say the actual word? Isn't that what they call them here? Why did you call it a film prop? That makes no sense. That's a pretty big square thing. I'm pretty sure this is it, but that's pretty big.
Mom always carries this trinket around with her, but I never realized there was something inside. Is this the hunt crest?
Yeah.
This is what pilots hang in their Starskiff cockpits for good luck.
It must be very close to Helmmaster Yukong's heart. Let's head back, Miss Qingni. I think you should return this trinket in person. This is an opportunity for the two of you to talk.
Not yet. I want to go back later. There's something
Uh-oh.
I hope you two can help me with first.
If you want us to help you persuade your mother, I'm afraid that could be difficult. It's not easy to solve a family dispute as an outsider.
No, you misunderstand. I just want to know what she's thinking. What turned an ace pilot, someone who loved to fly, into someone like her?
Tragedy, most likely.
My mom clearly misses her flying days. Otherwise, she wouldn't keep this on her person. But she doesn't fly anymore and refuses to let me become a fighter pilot. Why?
Maybe we can ask some people who might know the truth. Well, the General's been busy at the seat of Divine Foresight recently. We might not get to see him right away. Still, it's worth a try. He was the one who promoted Helmmaster Yukong. He probably knows more about her past than anyone.
General Jing Yuan? Are you sure it's okay to go straight to him? Oh, right. You're the General's guests. Even so, this is asking a lot of
Yeah, but I really want to know, so it's okay.
No problem.
Plus, he owes us.
If we can get to the bottom of why Helmmaster Yukong no longer flies, we might be able to find out why she doesn't want you to be a fighter pilot. We can't help you too directly, but an indirect conversation like this might give us a clue on how to convince your mother. Yes, leave it to us.
In that case,
No, don't
thank
say the
you
word.
so much, benefactors.
Ah.
I'll head back to Starskiff Haven. I'm not ready to return to the Skyfaring Commission yet.
Stop saying that word.
Mr. Yang, and you? What brings you to the seat of Divine Foresight this time?
Shout out to Sayu. Great voice acting.
It's nothing urgent. We were hoping to understand Helmmaster Yukong a little better.
In fact, his English voice is one of the reasons I won't switch back. I won't switch to Japanese either. It's because I really like it.
Yukong? I heard an office worker from the Skyfaring Commission flew a starskiff to assist in the present crisis, but ran into trouble herself. She was only saved thanks to a couple of travelers. On behalf of the Law Fu, you have my thanks once again. The seat of Divine Foresight heard that Yukong's seldom seen but often feared temper was on display. I believe the two of you were caught between mother and daughter.
Yes. And not in the good way.
We heard that Helmmaster Yukong was an outstanding pilot, but that she refuses to let her daughter embark on the same career.
Yukong herself is best placed to answer such questions.
True.
But naturally, you are here because you fear that Helmmaster Yukong would decline.
We could just
to
ask her
answer.
directly. I mean, that is a good idea. Just directly having the conversation is usually a good idea instead of going around paying on people's back and having these conversations. I'm just saying, I'm not saying I have an experience particularly with this kind of situation, but I'm just saying usually just asking someone directly is usually the best idea.
If you wish to dispel Miss Qingni's curiosity, perhaps we can take a small step back from the topic at hand. What do you wish to know about Yukong the pilot?
I don't have any other questions. Thank you, General.
I do not wish to speculate on the reason behind Helmmaster Yukong's reluctance to fly, nor do I want to open up old wounds. However, it is difficult to discard one's past. Yukong and Sae trusted each other with their lives. The Helmmaster will have strong memories of that time. Perhaps it is not my place to say, but I believe Qingni has the right to know about the
I agree.
past, as the past is starting to affect her
Absolutely,
future.
100%. Thank you, General.
Thank you, General. We apologize for taking up your time with such triviality.
Mr. Yang, you jest. How can harmony between parent and child constitute a triviality? If you ask me, the mountains of documents and the seat of divine foresight are the only triviality around here.
Fair enough.
We'll take our leave. Let's go. We should head to Starskiff Haven and find Qingni.
If she's not in danger again already. This kid. Well, it's like, I don't want her to know I read her diary so that I can get in there later. You know what I'm saying?
Deal?
I'm like, I need that
They're just
information.
her notes on life as a pilot.
He does have rules for these things.
I understand. I can tell Mr. Yang is a principled person.
Whereas I have no
There are
lines I won't
some
cross to
lines
get the
he
waifu.
won't cross.
Well, there are some lines, but you know what I mean.
Let's read it together. Maybe her diary holds the key to all of this.
Ooh, yay, actual reading. Over here at Agito Live, twitch.tv/Agito Live, and at Agito Live on the YouTube, we read as much as possible. Sai, we are going to be partners. We've known each other for so long. When we first knew each other racing Starskiffs legally in the city, we were rivals. Now that we're asked to work together and have each other's back, I'm really not used to it. Naturally, I'm not used to having to look after someone who lost against me, but an order's an order. I really look forward to flying with you. I don't know when we would receive a combat mission. I don't know what you think about our situation, but I think we both have considerable skills, and having to sit still and not fight enemies in the front lines, it's stifling. Those denizens of abundance often raid the border, and occasionally there are reports of them harming innocent planets. Every time I hear these news, I feel an overwhelming sense of anger. But now, things are different. After a while, we'll be able to show them what we're made of on our fighter jets. Honestly, though, I'm pretty satisfied with my life right now. After all, just between you and me, what I really wanted was never the righteous cause of ridding demonic activities. What attracts me is just the act of flying itself. Look, flying out in the universe outside of the Delves is entirely different from racing starskiffs that we're so used to. There is nothing to anchor us in space. There's not even a distinction between up and down. Our fighter jets would be hung in space by their loathsome selves, like ships sailing in the middle of the ocean. By then, there's no one else you can rely on but your own skills and your jet. Someone may call this feeling lonely, but I prefer to call it freedom. To me, the ability to fly in space is good enough, and if I share this sweet freedom with you, that's even better. Sai, I don't know what to say to console you. You're always like this. No matter what terrible things happen to you, you would act strong. As if you don't need anyone to care for you, and you have terrible timing for jokes. We have been together for over 100 years, and I think we understand each other very well. You once said that if something is unpleasant for me, it would also be uncomfortable for you. I actually feel the same way, too. Right now, my heart feels like it's being gouged out with a blunt, rusted knife. I can't imagine the amount of hurt or pain you're going through. It's funny. I've never shown Guangyan Guang Yuan? My good side. Every time you leave me alone to go on a mission with him, I feel uncomfortable. So the husband, the lover of Sai. Okay. A little jealousy, especially when I see you two flirting and getting along as if you're inseparable. I can't help but want to glare at him with disdain. But Guang Yuan is a good person. No matter how rude I was to him, he was always kind to me. Thinking back on it now, I realize I'm just really bad at appreciating people. He's really amazing. He managed to hold off several dozen enemy ships with only 2 people. This isn't something that can be done with just courage and resolve. It also requires exceptional skills and extraordinary talent. Also, he passed away doing a big mission. I can imagine what it was like in his final moments. How his annoyingly handsome face must have shown such determination and focus. I guess that's why you fell in love with him in the first place. I can imagine how proud he must have felt in that moment. He must have had no fear or hopelessness, only pride. So you shouldn't be sad. You should be proud of him. We all should. Oof. Oof. That's emotional. That's gotten me. Okay. Sai, I've been having a lot of negative emotions recently that I cannot express to other fighters on the front line. Since you're recuperating in the rear, I'll just dump them on you. Although it seems I'm a bit slow to say such words now, it was only recently that I realized that I'm actually in the midst of such a cruel war. Space combat is different from ground combat. Although both involve life and death in an instant, it is rare to see several limbs and broken bodies in space, which led me to misjudge the brutality of this war. It wasn't until recently, as the situation on the front lines worsened, that the bloody reality gently but indisputably presented itself before me. Someone might sit beside you for a meal today and be missing in action tomorrow. A new soldier earning praise and honor today might disappear the next. The captain I fought with today might not be found tomorrow. The ground troops that exchanged encouragement with me today might be eliminated the next. At this point, I'm wary of building a personal connection with anyone here. Perhaps that person would perish, or I might perish, or we might both perish in the day to come. I thought I've experienced enough to feel numb, but bad news kept coming in waves every single day. However, I don't regret this at all. Whenever the pain comes, the feeling that becoming a fighter pilot is the best choice I have made in my life will follow. If I weren't a fighter pilot, I can only endure this pain in silence. But I am. I can fly, I can battle, I can attempt to destroy the source of my pain, because I am a fighter pilot. I have things that I can do, realities that I can change. P.S. Don't use the names Guangyun came up with, they're terrible. Choosing a name is a big decision. The child has to bear with for a lifetime. Use my suggestion instead. It's something I picked with after diligently going through several collections worthy of poetry. Damn. Okay, that whole section there was real intense, but really good, very well written. Sai, I have a lot to tell you. So many things. After your death, they wanted to honor me with a medal. Truthfully, I find that laughable. Based on common logic, no one would award survival's medal to praise their fortuitous survival. I've actually heard of similar sentiment from other people in the military. Basically, it's like some of them, they wear them you're honored to wear it for your fellow troops or something along those lines. But at the same time, rewarding something for your survival when others didn't is can be rough. But no, not the Skyfaring Commission. They gave me a medal, called me a hero pilot, and the only reason for it is because of my luck to remain alive in that calamitous battle. If you had been as lucky as me, we could have gotten the medals together. After the medal ceremony, we could have gone to Aram Alley, have a few drinks, and laugh at the absurdity of it all. It's a shame. Luck is not on your side. We don't have that chance anymore. I suddenly feel nostalgic. I remembered all the time we had steering our starships across the Lafu sky. We were so carefree. There were no threats to our lives, and we didn't have to bear the calling of the hunt. The entirety of the sky within the delve was ours, yours and mine. Above us was the delve's flashing dome ceiling, and below us were the bustling lights of 10,000 homes. Oh, and behind us, the realm-keeping commission officers who just won't stop chasing us. That was a time of innocence? That's not the word innocence. Innocence? I think that might just be a misspelling. I'm not sure. How I wish, because I've never seen that word before. How I wish we could stay in that time forever. I'm curious. I'm going to spell that out in Google. I want to know if that's actually a word or innocence. Casual lackens.
Insouciance.
Insouciance. Okay. Insouciance. Big words. Word I'd never heard before. Insouciance. Interesting. Casual lack of concern. Indifference. Interesting. It's a better word than innocence, actually. How I wish we could stay in that time I want to hear that word.
Insouciance.
Insouciance. That was a time of insouciance. How I wish we could stay in that time forever. Okay, cool. That was. I love this section here. This was. Oof. But that also means she's definitely
the meaning
adopted.
Of this? The Helm Master's daughter bringing Outworlders in to sneak around? What do you have in your hands? Let me see. Madam Yukong's diary? The nerve.
He never says the last. He never says the nerve. Okay.
How dare you read Madam Yukong's personal diary? And with her daughter, too. By the
Oh no, we were caught in the library with her daughter. No.
Mr. Yang Min, please, calm down. Let us explain.
You need to tell Yang Ming the whole story.
I see. Qingni, I know Madam Yukong's position on you becoming a pilot is tough for you to accept, but she has her own concerns.
I understand, Mr. Yang Min. But now, compared to becoming a fighter pilot, I'm more interested in knowing what my mom went through.
My question is, did Qingni already know she was adopted? Probably, because she doesn't seem too surprised by that part.
I want to know what happened. How she went from ace pilot to Helm Master.
I've been here for a long time, Qingni.
True.
If there's something
Words
you wish to
of
know,
wisdom.
just ask. But don't go rummaging around. That's a bad habit.
Yep. Just ask. Just ask.
My mom keeps lots of stuff in her desk.
Where?
Let's have a
There's
look.
no. Where does she keep stuff in this desk? There's no storage. What do you mean? There's no storage in the. There's literally no storage areas in this desk. What are you talking about? How could she keep stuff in the desk? Yeah, thank you. This desk has space to put stuff?
That's the selling point of this desk. Super simplistic design with super spacious hidden compartments. Lots
Where?
of office staff use this desk.
Where? Wait, like back here? But like what? What do you mean? What do you mean? There's nothing here.
There are hidden compartments on the left, right, and under the desktop. Which one should
Okay.
we check first? A paper kite, personal letters, and a copy of Otherworldly Delights? So Mom likes these kinds of novels? Huh. I thought she'd prefer more heroic stuff.
Otherworldly Delights. What is that? Is that like a book? Is this a racy book? It's a romancy book? Or is it like food based? It's probably food based.
But what we're looking for isn't here. There are hidden compartments on the left, right, and
Probably an
under
actual
the
book in the
desktop.
game, if I remember correctly.
Which one should we check first? There's some exhibition material. Not sure if it's relevant. This is the Fallen Heroes archive. Mom stored them right next to her.
Exhibition materials? What do you mean exhibition materials?
Every time our pilots returned from the battlefield, my mother would tell me never to forget the cost of victory. But what we're looking for isn't here. There are hidden compartments on the left, right. Got it. This looks similar to Mom's diary. But it looks like it belonged to Miss Tsai.
Oh, okay, here we go. Another one. Real quick. Just real quick, let me go grab a drink. Alright. Sai's exchange diary. Yukong, I'm happy to have a chance to fight side by side with you. When the pair assignments was sent out, I was so nervous that I didn't dare to open and check it, fearing that we wouldn't be paired up. It's not like I can bear to part with you, but I was worried to leave you with others with your fiery temperament. When you actually get to the battlefield, don't act recklessly like you do now, always charging in with hot-headedness. Before taking action, think more about the consequences. But it's okay. I don't want to talk about this anymore, or you'll accuse me of nagging like an old crone again. In any case, we need to work together, using our individual strengths to create our own legends in the vast sky. I look forward to fighting in the vast skies with you. So much so that I'm finding it hard to fall asleep. Yukong, don't cry. There is no need to be sad. My husband was the one who died, but you're crying more than I am. After so many years of fighting, you're still so emotional. I'm envious. Being a fighter pilot has always been a harrowing decision. Since we choose this path, we have to be mentally prepared. What's important is not whether we can survive by luck, but whether we can live up to the value of a pilot's life. Interesting. Gong Yong and his partner managed to keep an entire Parisian fleet at bay. They were heroes. To me, that is enough. I've heard it said that the greatest happiness in life is being able to choose how you die. From this perspective, to fight for the Jiansho Alliance, no, for the people of the entire galaxy, to die on the battlefield after a lifetime of military service. Guanyong is probably happy. Of course, you better not have this kind of happiness. Just live another 200 years, behave, and then die of old age for me. Oh, that's sweet. Yukong, it's been a long time. I'm still on my maternity leave in the rear. Everything is fine. With the stalemate happening right now, you must be very busy. When you have the chance, please take a moment to write an exchange diary entry for me, so that I can know you are still safe. And also, I have a mountain of things I want to talk to you about. Firstly, an announcement. I have already decided on a name for our child. Guangyan has talked about this before. If it's a boy, name him Dragon. If it's a girl, name her Phoenix. Oh god. But this man's literary sense is as good as the monkeys in the Everhunt Plains. No matter how much we should prioritize the wishes of my late husband, I cannot let his wants ruin my child's life. So after much pondering, I've decided to go with your suggestion and name her Qingni, the colors of dawn. Well, the moonlit camp opens to the garden of archery. Frosty banners brush the colors of dawn. How rare you made the time and effort to look through poems and allegories. I thought you only cared about fighter jets. Oh wait, I read that wrong. The moonlit camp opens to a garden of archery. Frosty banners brush the colors of dawn. Pause. How rare you made the time and effort to look through poems and allegories. I thought you only cared about fighter jets. Don't miss me too much. After taking a few months of break and settling Qingni down, I'll be back in action ASAP. Qingni is still so young and I need to leave her to fight a war. How should I say this? I'm such an irresponsible mother. I am well aware. The situation on the front line doesn't look so good. The Borzian keeps breaking our ranks. All media outlets are trying to control the spread of panic and fear, but the Laofu is shrouded with a veil of uneasiness. However, I believe the Xianshou Alliance will win. I believe that warriors like you and me will repel those denizens of abundance to whence they came. I look forward to fighting beside you once more. Yukong, we will be heading toward a cruel battlefield tomorrow. So tonight, there are some things I must entrust to you. This may be somewhat ominous, but there's no help for it. Who made it so that we've never entrusted these things to each other before? If you lived and I didn't, please take care of Qingni like you would your own daughter. I know you will. I will entrust you with all my savings. Please use that as living expenses for Qingni. No matter what kind of person Qingni wants to become, please support her fully. Merchant, poet, street performer, anything except a jet fighter. Please allow me to make a vow with you. Do not let Qingni become a jet fighter. When we enlisted, you wrote in this diary, our fighter jets would be hung in space by their lonesome selves, like ships sailing in the middle of the ocean. Some may call this feeling lonely, but I prefer to call it freedom. I really love this segment because I thought the same. But that's enough. Loneliness or freedom? We've already tasted it all. Promise me. Don't let that child touch the sky. I knew it. I knew it was going to be something like that. She made a promise. She made a promise to her actual mother. Do not let her become a sky pilot. Oh. Oh. God. Oh. This is sad. Oh man, this is so sad. This is rough. A mother's last words.
So...
She didn't know.
I was adopted?
Damn.
And this Miss...
Oh no.
Sai was my real mother?
Wow. Damn. There's so many layers here. Damn, this quest.
I suppose I've always had a feeling. But now I know the truth. I feel like I'm dreaming.
Man, that means Yukong's not actually a mom. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna...
Don't let that child touch the sky.
Damn.
Is this why Mom refuses to let me become a fighter pilot? When I was little, I asked my mom where my dad was. She said I was grown from the Star Skiff assembly line at Stargazer Navalia.
Kind of a, I'm not going to lie though, kind of a bad for Yukong not to let Qingni know who her parents really were. You know what I mean? Like, I know she raised her daughter and all that stuff, but her parents were heroes and she deserved to know about them. So that's kind of a scuff, if you ask me. But I also understand why Yukong just didn't want to deal with any of that. She's clearly a very emotional person and just kind of cut all that off and made a choice, you know, and I can respect that.
I thought she was just a bad liar. I even thought she meant I'd inherited her talent with star skiffs. I feel a lot closer to Mom after reading this diary. Even if we're not connected by blood. I understand her a lot more now.
I think the voice actor for Qingyi is doing a really good job too.
Can you come with me one more time? I want to have a proper chat with Mom. Yes. Thank you.
No problem. I mean, I am still trying to get in there, so you know, I mean, whatever.
Take caution. Some people may try to blend in and infiltrate the Palace of Astro.
Here we
Mom?
Qingni, why are Mr. Yang and they here too?
Miss Qingni kindly agreed to show us around Star Skiff Haven. She mentioned she was trying to mend things between you, but was feeling shy about it. We volunteered to come with her.
Thank you. I must apologize for the trouble my daughter has brought you.
So serious.
Mom!
All right, it's getting late. Let's talk once we're home.
Actually, I want to talk to you about something right now. I want to become a fighter pilot, no matter what.
Nice. Let's go. Confront her about it. It's your dream. Even with everything going on, it's your dream. It's your life.
We've talked about this many times. No means no.
But...
Seems like Miss Qingni is a little hesitant. Try giving her a little
Stand up
push.
for her. Say it.
I thought Mr. Yang said we shouldn't interject.
Yeah, Mr. Yang, what the hell?
Is that Sai's diary? How did you... I understand now. I'm sorry, Qingni. I cannot support your dream because I made a promise to someone else. I don't expect to gain your forgiveness. I just hope you can understand my reason.
Mom, what are you talking about? I'm your daughter. Our bond is bigger than forgiveness and reason. I'll listen to anything you have to say.
Just like you.
Why does it seem lower all of a sudden? Like she's like Yukong's talking really low.
I know what it feels like to fly through infinite space, to be surrounded by the vast expanse of nothingness, with unimaginable splendors looming in the distance.
Okay, yeah, I don't like the voice direction here. She's like, I understand she's supposed to be kind of like speaking lamently, but I can't hear even though my volume is like decently high.
To float like a single leaf in the fathomless stellar sea. Some called it loneliness, but we called it freedom.
Take caution.
Sai was like that too. We're friends since childhood. We flew star skiffs everywhere, causing trouble until the knights caught us and dragged us before General Jingyuan.
Which, now that I think about it, this is probably her normal speaking voice, because she usually when she's talking, she has that authority in her tone, right? And she speaks loud. She speaks up. She says it with her chest, so to speak, right? But this might be her normal speaking tone.
We soon became the most elite fighter pilots of the Skyfaring Commission. It wasn't an easy life. You could even say it was a cruel one. You never knew if the friend next to you would make it back alive. Of course, the same could be said of yourself. But those are my best memories. We would strike out into the sky, repelling demons and upholding justice. The blood we shed bore witness to it all. The life of a Foxian is short and fleeting. Surely we should dedicate ourselves to such glorious aims. System space all clear today. Great weather for flying.
So there's a lot like Iran.
We're engaging the main Borisan fleet this time. Don't get too excited.
Huh? Sounds like maternity leave knocked the wind out of your sails. Feeling rusty?
Oh, shut it. I think you're just excited because you haven't flown with me for so long. Did you miss me?
Of course I missed you. The galaxy felt smaller without you in my cockpit. Say, Sai, really didn't think you'd come back. Do you really like flying starskiffs that much?
You bet. Sure, it's exhausting, dangerous, low paid. Plus, you only get back to the Luofu a few times a year.
Low paid, up that pay.
But given the choice, I'd always pick this. I guess I already touched the sky.
The mind is mysterious. I've lived for more than 200 years. Forgotten nearly every conversation I've ever had. But I still remember us shooting the breeze that
So
day.
she's still rather young by long life species standards.
It's crystal clear. It was the last time I spoke to Sai. Sai? Hold on, Sai. Sai, open your eyes.
Thank you. Yukong. I've had a good life. But please, don't let Jinmi walk the same path.
Why did that have to be your
Don't
last
let
words? Seriously. God damn it.
Become a fighter pilot.
Okay. It's weird that those are her last words to me. And the reason I say it's weird because it shows that there was an underlying, like, it was all, there's a little bit of a front. She's putting like, yes, I came back to do these, to be a fighter pilot, to fly and all this because I really like doing it and I missed you and all that stuff. But there's like this, her last words being, don't let my daughter do this. It's a little weird to me. I don't know. It doesn't fit. I don't know. It's weird.
Sai, she's your daughter. You'll be able to tell her yourself, do you hear?
It feels like it had to be that for the story, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's like one of those points of writers like they wrote this part of the story first and then wrote everything up to that and then kind of shifted it so it all landed on that point. That's what this point feels like. Like it had to be there in order to serve the story. It's like a plot point that they couldn't write themselves out of.
Rescue's almost here. Stay with me. Jingni is waiting for you. She lost Guang Yan. She can't afford to lose you too. Wake up! Sai! Sai!
Oh man.
When I climbed out of the burning carcass of the Starskiff, I looked up into a clear sky, pure and seemingly unadorned by the atmosphere that arced far above us. It was the most beautiful sky I had ever seen. But all I could feel was unbearable pain. I sunk to the ground and gazed up helplessly. In my dream, that was the day I died.
Damn.
Mom,
Explains her light cone image now,
this
too.
is the first time I've heard you talk about this. But I'm not a little girl anymore. The road of a fighter pilot is a cruel one. I know that now.
Straight up like her mom.
But I won't hide from it. I'm not afraid to walk the same road as her. If my sacrifice can bring happiness to the citizens of the Xianzhou, then I'm ready for it.
You are so very similar to Tsai. The more outstanding you became over the years, the more fearful I turned. I've known for a long time you were ready, but I was not. You know, the cruelty has
07's in the
never
chat for
claimed
Tsai, yeah.
victory. Me, Tsai, your father Guangyan. We were prepared for the worst when we enlisted. Do you know how we won that war? The war that took away Tsai and the lives of hundreds of thousands of fighters.
The Rainbow Arbiter's divine arrow.
Yes. The mighty blessing of the Rainbow Arbiter annihilated all abominations in a single strike. We had to pay with the blood of hundreds of thousands of soldiers just to halt their advance. If crushing our enemies was as easy as breathing for the Rainbow Arbiter, then what purpose did our sacrifices serve?
Yes, exactly. That is always a great question to ask when it comes to these godly situations. This gets into like religion stuff and things along those lines. It's always a great question to ask, right? Is like, why if the Rainbow Arbiter could have came down the entire time and just smote the whole thing, why did he do that in the first place? It's a good question. But then you wouldn't have lived your lives and you wouldn't find the value and the meaning and all this other stuff. There's a lot of different answers to that question. Like a lot of different answers to that question, but it is a good question.
Under the might of an eon, the sacrifices of ordinary creatures are but a joke. We are nothing. We mean nothing.
Sounds like she is so heavily disillusioned with like the idea of the hunt and all this other stuff as well there because of that. Interesting.
Mom.
I guess it explains why she's a Harmony character and not a Hunt character, I think, or kind of a Hunt character with Harmony, with a Harmony character with Hunt aspects.
But I never should have allowed my fears to compel me to make decisions
True,
for another
exactly.
person.
This is her beliefs. Doesn't have to be her daughter's beliefs.
Even if that person is...
And obviously she still raised her with the ideas that, you know, we fight for the Xianzhou.
I brazenly interfered with your choices. I am sorry. That is my failure as a mother.
Mom, you don't need to apologize. Really, you don't need to.
I'll take you to fill in the paperwork tomorrow. You'll start as ground crew, just like Tsai and I did. I believe that one day, you'll make an outstanding fighter pilot.
Huh? Really? Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I was
Now
afraid
hug
of
already.
you following
Y'all
in
both
my
need it.
footsteps. And more afraid of you taking after Tsai. But if this is your choice, then I'm willing to support you. Even if you live to regret it.
Mom, I have one last request.
Tell me.
Tell her about her parents.
I want to
Oh,
fly with you at least once.
that's cool. That's also cool. Yukong has such pretty eyes.
I'm afraid I can't. I won't be flying anymore.
But why?
Because I already touched the sky.
Skip the word there again. I'm noticing that a lot in this quest. There's like words that they just drop them or they're like weirdly translated or whatever.
Take caution. Some people may try to blend...
Visitor verification. Yukong's become a visitor in the Express. You might come across Yukong when you return to the Express. Yeah, see, that didn't pop up for the Kafka quest. That's why I think there's definitely going to be more. Warden of Jade. That was such a good quest. Ugh. That was so good. That was so good. So good. So very, very, very good. Heaney stands beside her mother and quietly gazes at the place that fills her with so much passion. Yukong gazes quietly at the place that once filled her with so much passion and cost her everything. Let's not disturb them. Yeah, that's fair. Wants to stand next to Hamilton. All right. Heavens really are boundless.
Since assuming the role of Helm Master, it's rare that I have the chance to gaze upon the stars like this. It should be a view I tire of seeing, but it always leaves me in awe. The heavens really are boundless. Thank you. I like it. It's a shame. The stars no longer belong to me. Perhaps one day I shall feel their embrace once again. But it will undoubtedly be the day of my last flight.
Don't kill off this Foxian beauty too, please.
I will.
Come
Thank you for your invitation. I can't help but say that after arriving on the Express, I'm a little envious of your way of life. You are able to enjoy the vastness of the universe, with reliable companions by your side. I hope you all cherish one another.
So I have a lot to say about this quest. Like, a lot. A lot to say about this quest, honestly. This was really good. Very touching, as Ken in the chat says. Very touching. It was very, very personal. This quest, like, okay, I'm going to make a comparison here. So the Locha quest, right? The Locha quest, we find literally nothing out about Locha, right? He is not in the quest at all. We get a weird retelling of his story by March and Mr. Yang and Welt and all this other stuff, right? And it's terrible. I hated that quest. That's why I didn't upload it. It's terrible. And my biggest complaint with that quest is that Locha was not in that quest at all. Like, Locha himself, Locha was not in that quest at all. Now, this quest, Yukong is in there at the very beginning and there at the very end. But Yukong is in the quest through the entirety of it. You get to see her through the lens of her daughter. As her daughter figures out more about Yukong, we in turn obviously learn a lot about Yukong. Her daughter, much like how March tried to serve as a lens for Locha and did a terrible job of that, obviously, and well, still not doing a great job of that, serves as the perfect lens for us to learn about Yukong, to learn her story, her tragedies, and the life that she has lived. It is fantastic. It is so well done. It's just chef's kiss. It's so good. And then you see her at the end, and you have all this new information now, and it changes your entire feelings on the situation, like how you interact with her, etc. It changes my perspective on her as a character. She's far more tragic of a character than I would have initially thought, than like the stereotypical story. And even the story is nothing truly unique. I've heard stories like this before, but it's very, very well done. There was a lot of cutscene, like little cut slips, like art pieces in this. The voice acting was great for both the daughter and for her, obviously, except for that one part where she seemed a little low. I don't know why, but I think that's just the way it was supposed to come across, as she was like mostly speaking to herself. So, I love how in this quest and in the Kafka quest, we had our own voice, right? We didn't say necessarily anything out loud, but we had a lot of internal monologue, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with getting the internal monologue of the character. It just feels really, really, really good. This quest felt complete, and it was good. And it felt like a companion quest. Like, you go on this quest to learn more about the character, to not necessarily go on an adventure with the character. It depends on the type of character they are. This type of character, no, we would not have gone on an adventure with Yukong. We would learn about her. She is still probably one of my favorite characters, if not, honestly, now my favorite character in this game. At least as far as like side characters go, right? Because she's not really a main focus, because she wasn't really in the main story outside of the beginning, and this was a personal story. You know, Kafka herself is in the main story, and you know, then we have her side story, and then Dan Heng is also part of the main story, and all that stuff is another one of my favorites. But I like her character. I like her kit. I like her design. I like her appearance. I like her personality. I like everything about this character. I have yet to find anything about this character that I don't like. So yeah, this companion, this was probably my favorite, because I like that emotional shit. This is probably, because it was also really long, I think it really lets you like get into it. And there was some funny moments, there was some sad moments, it was fun. It was very, very fun. It's probably my favorite quest as far as the companion quest, with Locha's being the one I hate the most, and is absolutely terrible. I'll never stop saying that. The Yanqing one was probably the next like one as far as like on the low on the totem pole, but mostly because like I think the way it's paced. I love the Natasha story. The Natasha story was super good. Hooks is really fun. Bylus is super fun. And then Kafka's was amazing, even though it was kind of short. But this was meat. This and the Natasha one are definitely both of my two favorite companion quests so far. The Asta one I didn't really care. The Arlen one I really, really didn't care. So yeah, this was good. This was really good. Really good. And if you enjoyed watching that, which I hope you did, I hope you enjoyed watching that, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment below on what you thought of the Yukong quest. Did you get teary? I know I got freaking teary. There was definitely some moments there where I felt like I was going to cry. But I didn't. I held it in. I kept it in. It's all in here. We're good. So, yeah, don't forget, like I said, like and subscribe, and come over onto the Twitch side of things at twitch.tv/SugiitoLive. And I will see you guys next time. Later.